to our Mariner Center Steering Committee meeting. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This territory is covered by the treaties of peace and friendship, which Mi'kmaq and Wolastoqiyik Maliseet people first signed with the British Crown in 1725. The treaties did not deal with surrender of lands and resources, but in fact, recognized Mi'kmaq and Wolastoqiyik Maliseet title and established the rules for what was to be an ongoing relationship between nations. Thank you everybody for taking the time this afternoon. We've already mentioned some regrets. Other than that, let's move to number 2, the approval of our agenda. Does anybody have anything to add to the agenda? Seeing none, can I have somebody make a motion to approve the agenda? Thank you, Councillor Surratt. Can I have a seconder? Thank you, Warden Muse. All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. Contrary? Motion carried. Thank you. Number 3, approval of the minutes. So we had minutes for June 23rd, 2021. If you've had time to review them. Any errors or omissions? Okay, if there aren't any, can I have somebody approve the minutes from our meeting of June 23rd, 2021, please? Thank you, Mayor Mood, seconded by Councillor Dares. Any questions on that? Okay, all those in favor signify by raising your hand. Contrary? Motion carried. Next item is business arising from the minutes. So we only have 2 items today, but one of them will be a little bit longer. We're going to have an update from Mark Brophy. Mark is going to update us on our Mariner Center expansion application, but he's also going to give us a little Mariners on Main update as well, if that's okay, Mark. I think that's okay. Go ahead.
So we had an aggressive schedule and we're going to make it. The funding document is 99.9. There's the resolution, which is a topic later on the agenda. We need 4 signatures. We've got pretty much every letter of support and it's been fantastic. Yeah, we've got a little bit of online work to do on what's called readiness, just to highlight it. And we're ready to submit tomorrow, perhaps. The process is continuous intake, and as soon as they get them, theoretically, they start to process, start to assign analysts and go. If you wait to the deadline, I'm expecting there to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds on the pile. So, you know, I think every day is important. We can be ready to go tomorrow. So that's where we are.
That's excellent. Does anybody have any questions for Mark on that? Go ahead, Daniel.
Just a quick question, I guess. Mark said we got lots and lots of letters. Are we sending them all, or are we picking quantity over quality? What is our plan for that? And if we're going with quantity over quality or quality over quantity, how do we assess that? I guess.
I think we're going with all of them. It's all and some are referenced, especially if it's a partnership as opposed to a letter. And on top are some higher priority ones. They're all important, but we are going with the quantity. Just so you know, this is an appendix to the funding document, which was updated from 2019. The online document references the appendices and other things. So it becomes an appendix of an attachment. So I don't think it's a problem to include them.
Okay.
Okay, Daniel?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I'm sure we'll have further talk there when we're in camera. Just a couple questions around that. That's all, but probably shouldn't be asked here.
Okay. Any other questions for Mark on that? Okay. We're also going to, Mark sent a document today about next steps and kind of what are the design build, those kinds of things. I felt like we're going to table that because we haven't had the time to look at it. So it's a document we're going to look at. I'll send that out after the meeting today. We'll have a chance to look at it, process it, and it'll be something we'll discuss at another meeting, if that is okay with everybody. It just felt like that was the best route. Go ahead, Mark.
So just to highlight the document, yep. Construction methodologies. There's a couple of options: the traditional design, build, and construction management. A selection has to be made. Based on that selection, you procure a design consultant, because it's a different scope. So you've got to kind of pick your construction method and then go with your consultant procurement. Both require RFPs. So it's just to set the table for decision.
Sounds good. You want to talk to us about Mariners on Main?
Sure, pretty happy. I hope as many people can come down at 4:30 and look at our pool. She's changed a little bit. It's full of water.
Do we have a picture? You sent a picture, right? That we can put up on the screen. Vicky, do you have that?
If Vicky can put it up, it's we have a pool. Now, let's be fair. There's water in the pool. That opens up a whole pile of work, which is now in process. It doesn't mean to say we jump in at 4:30. It's
right.
Still, it's a process. We have to make sure pumps and filters are working, get the water stabilized. There's a lot of work to do yet, but it's without water, you can't test. And we found some issues with circulation that were fixed last night. So it's a step along the way, but it's an important step. If that leaked, nobody'd be happy. We wouldn't be there at 4:30.
Right.
But it's a good news that we have water in the pool.
Excellent. Thank you, Mark. Does anybody have any other questions for Mark? All right, looks good. Thanks so much, Mark. Next, we have 4.2 resolution for our committee. I believe we've attached the resolution to the agenda. Am I correct in that? Yes, okay. So if have you had the chance to look at the resolution? Okay, so this is a piece that we need to pass in order to strengthen our application. So we put this together and in the hopes that today we can pass that so we can add it with the application. So if we've had the chance to look at it, are there any questions about the resolution? Go ahead, Joram.
I'm glad you gave it a little bit of context. I was wondering, what is the resolution for? I liked it because it sort of stacked up all of the collaboration and partnership on top of itself and all the events that are meaningful that built the momentum recently. I was wondering, how is this used as an instrument?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Mark was looking for this as an additional piece for our application. He felt like there had to be something that solidified that partnership and that number that we all agreed on. So that's what this piece is for.
Thank you.
Right, Mark? Go ahead, Mark.
So if I'm an analyst looking at this and making recommendations, it's a $30 million ask, and wow, the first 10 million's already been promised. So that I guess more bang for your buck if it becomes a yes. So I think that comes right off the page that the communities are committed.
Thank you. Is there anybody willing to make a motion to pass this resolution? Motion by Councillor Surratt and seconded by Councillor Allen. Are there any questions or discussion on this motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by raising your hand. Contrary, raise your hand. Motion carried. Thank you.
I can bring the document at 4:30 and get 4 signatures then.
Sure. Yep. Sounds good. Just lost the agenda. There we go. So the next, I don't think there's anything new business, projected expenses. Jerry, nothing there? Anything there?
No, from what I understand, we've only engaged one consultant to this point. Maybe the second one's just recently engaged, but we've not received a bill yet.
That's good. Thank you. Okay, so next piece will be number 6. We're going to go in camera. Can I have a motion to go in camera? Thank you, Councillor Cunningham, Deputy Warden Cunningham, and seconded by Councillor Dares. All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Contrary? Motion carried. We'll go in camera. We will wait until my agenda. This is what happens every time. So last bit on the agenda, our next meeting. Will we meet again next week once the application is in? And I'm totally asking because I'm really not sure exactly what it is. I know that Jeff may have something to present on fundraising. Do we want to have a meeting next week on that? Will there be, what else will we have? there may be some, I'm just wondering if it's necessary to have next week. Go ahead, Alan.
Just if there's conversations that we're going to set up with the key people, I would think that we'd want to come back to this committee and report. So it keeps us accountable on a continued time frame, because we're going to, and I'm not talking about conversations with Zach or Chris, because to Alan's point, like those happen all the time. I'm talking the one specifically we don't know about national. We should be looking to schedule and then report back. So I think you could schedule a meeting, and then if there's no conversation, you can cancel a meeting.
Okay.
That'd be my suggestion to you.
Okay. So we will schedule a meeting for, can we schedule for July 6th? Because I know this on the 7th at 2 o'clock, there is an airport meeting. And you never know how long they run, right? Can we, are people available on the 6th of July? Go ahead, Gil.
Yeah, I think we have a regional EMO meeting next week at 4.
Okay.
So if we can meet at 3, it would probably work.
Absolutely. I'm just looking around the room. School will be done. So Steve and I are available earlier. Are people available earlier? It wouldn't have to be at 3 or 4 anymore. Oh, sorry, Trevor, you're not available?
Yeah, I think we should keep the meeting sort of like, at the same time as much as possible.
Okay.
That makes some sense to me.
Okay. So July 6th at 3. Does that sound okay? We'll set that for tentatively, and if anything changes, I will be in touch. So don't forget, as many of you that can go to the Mariners on Main site for 4:30, Duran. That's when you want us?
Yes, thanks for the opportunity. So yes, we have water in the pool, and the invitation went out to the senior elected officials here, but the invitation is wide open. And we will gather on the deck safely and take a photo or many. And we'll have, I think, a really positive story to get out there as we march towards opening this fall.
Sure.
So front door. The front door will be open as of 4:30, and Chris Weatherby will be letting us in. Front door.
Okay.
I'm just sending my regrets.
Okay, thanks, Gil.
I was like you, Gil. I was like you, Gil. I didn't get the invitation. I just figured they didn't want us in bathing suits.
Bring a snorkel, Daniel. Bring a snorkel.
Don't do mosquitoes.
I swim like a rock.
All right, Mark, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, I just said there's parking at the rear if you wanted to, if it's easier to find a parking spot.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so last item moved.
Nicole,
yes.
On the 6th, we have a REMO executive at 4, so I'm not sure if that's going to have a conflict or not, as long as we're done.
Will your meeting be a Zoom meeting, Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Meetings are Zoom.
I don't foresee that this meeting would be very long. It would basically be the fundraising update and any conversation updates if we have any at that point.
No.
Okay. All right, so Councillor Surratt was going to move to adjourn. Do we have a seconder? Thank you, Daniel. All those in favor, raise your hand. Thank you. Contrary, motion carried. Thanks, everybody. Beautiful day. Thanks for your time.